Howdy, everybody. This is Tansuke. We are back once again, this time with the patch notes for 7.4. It looks like the concept of like the social media stuff in advance that kind of has fallen to the wayside a bit. So let's go ahead and just look through the patch notes, see what we got. We have a brand new champion, Udyr. Now, last week on stream, I got my Freljord Crystal, and I said, hey guys, I don't think I should spend this in case there's a Freljord champion coming soon. And I felt that. And then after the stream, I looked and I said, I'll have enough shards available that I can get him later. Get this 6-star for Freljord later. And I can get it within a month. But I just need to make, what are the chances that it's back-to-back Freljord champions? So the me of a week ago is a lot smarter than the me of today. But, so I won't even get a 6-star, but we'll have fun with them all the same. So let's go ahead and take a look. We have new champion Udyr. Let's skip straight to the stars before I look at the cards, because that could change things. So, and before I read a single thing here. What I think he needs... I think that Udyr is cool with the concept of playing stances, that he gets to choose what you want when you play him. And that's cool, and that's where I think he's a lot of fun. I think the downside is going to be that you're going to be playing a lot of stance swap when you're playing him, and additionally, they're going to have to figure out how to make that a win condition. So I'm almost wondering if they're going to do something like Elder Dragon, where you basically get free stances when you play, and then stances will give stuff to stats on the board. But we'll take a look at all that and figure it out. Okay. Stance Mastery. When you target an ally with stance swap, grant it +1/+1. Okay, that makes sense. That's extra scaling. I'm guessing it's +2/+2 when you do. Okay. When you target an ally with stance swap, the 3-star. Grant them +1/+1. Each round, the first time you play a stance swap on an ally, it strikes the weakest enemy. Okay, so that adds a little bit of control to it. That's fun. +1 starting mana for the 2-star. Your stance swaps accelerate to focus. Oh, that's going to be nice. When you gain the attack token, create a stance swap in hand. Very cool. Now, they don't say it here, but I am 90% sure that there's probably going to be something along the lines of your stance swap has -1 cost on it in his constellation. It really feels like that is going to be a normal thing for him. And I doubt they're going to give it 2 cost to make it free, but I'm definitely betting it'll cost 1 once you get a constellation node. But that's nice. So that's the control here with that 3-star. That is really nice. And making it focus speed is nice too. I see Get Swole. Okay. Increase an ally stats with the spell, increase them by 2 more. That's great, because then you'll get some extra stats. Cool. Get Swole's a fun power. Makes sense that he'd get it here. Mana Flow, no shock here. What is the 6-star? Stance Master 3. Your stance swaps are replaced with Mastered Stance Swap. Your Master Stance Swap accelerates to Burst. Oh, so you can use it in combat now. That's really nice. And I'm guessing these are going to be like the Dragon Soul to, how Elder does, when it improves their souls. I'm guessing these stances are going to be pretty crazy. Innervating Locket. When you play a stance swap, heal your Nexus 2 and refill 1 spell mana. Very nice. And if my theory is true, that effectively makes the spell mana refund the cost of it, which is nice too. So let's look at his cards now. Let's see what he's got in here. So obviously, there's Udyr. That makes sense. You're going to need him. Omen Hawk. Great to buff your deck. 2 extra allies, +1/+1's nice. Favorite Artisan. Time of Dedication. That also means that the Time of Dedication would get Swole, so you'll get 2 extra power off that, which is nice. So it's a +3/+3 for 1 mana. That's not bad. Flash Freeze. If I were to bet, this will probably have Poro Snack on it too, given the way they love to do that. The old burst defense, give you a Poro kind of thing. Either that or it'll have like Ardent Sensor or something like that. Maybe a draw. It'll be nice. Icevale Archer, a nice solid defensive card to help you stall out, frostbite an enemy. Very nice. Inner Beast to give an ally +1/+1, create a stance swap in hand. That makes total sense. You're going to need some of those. In fact, so far you haven't gotten a ton of stance swaps. I'm surprised. Troll Chant, give an ally +2, give an enemy -2. That's helpful for defenses as well. Scarthane, Stefan. It's nice to actually finally get this card in a Path of Champions deck. I've always kind of wanted to see what you can do with him, and Udyr is a great place for him because you can give him regeneration, and that would make him a 2/8 with the stance swap and get swole. So then all of a sudden the 2/8 with regeneration can start taking a few hits. So that'll be cool. Hydra Allseer, when I'm summoned, create a stance swap in hand. The first stance swap you play each round costs 0. That will be nice. I'm sorry, not Hydra, Hyara. Okay. All in all, this is going to be interesting. I think Udyr would really love Secret Technique as one of his runes, as one of his relics. So letting those extra stats really buff up. And then you can take advantage of all those stats. And then from there, like, there's a bunch of runes that'll be fun here. We'll take a look at these. I'm excited for this. But that's not all we have here besides Udyr. We also have new relics, which is quite surprising, both rare and epic relics. So let's quickly discuss all these. Bloodbrand, rare. When you play another ally, deal 1 to it and grant me +1/+1. This one, I'm already linking among a few people would like this one. Tom Kench would love it because his allies all have enough HP to take that hit and then grant them a bunch of stats, and it would buff your Tom Kench even more. So this would be pretty good on him. Warwick also looks tempting, but he doesn't have a ton of units that play with a lot of health, so I'm kind of scared about doing that. Afraid I'll kill him. Especially if you're running Cruel Experiments, I think most of the cards in Warwick's deck will die. So I hope that that's not the case, but unfortunately I don't think it'll be as good on Warwick. Also, if there's something like Vladimir in the future, this definitely feels like his thing. Pack-a-Punch. Allies have impact. That's nice. Anything that goes wide and really wants to damage the Nexus, this can be nice. Some of the stuff that comes to mind is Vi would probably like this, which is why it's probably, Piltover style picture. Gnar would also love this. Just being able to give everybody a chance to hit the Nexus would be good. Yes. And anybody, if you get Perfection, it makes it funny. Makeshift Mayhem. Create 3 random cards in hand on play. They cost 1 and are fleeting. Okay. So you can use this to get some more value out of your cards, and because there's no cost restriction on these, it just says they cost 1, you could get something really crazy, something like Aurelian Soul's Comet, for example. You could get that for 1 mana. This would be good for people that want to play cheap cards, or a lot of cards. Another Vi card, frankly. I think that Vi could work with this pretty well. Neela can obviously double everything that she plays. That's fleeting. And actually, this would be super good on Neela, now that I think about it, because Neela will activate almost immediately. Like, her whole engine revolves around getting a couple of fleeting cards, and this would put them in your hand right away. So I bet Neela will love Makeshift Mayhem. Fate's Hand. Game start. Add 10 random cards to your deck. Grant each a common item, a rare item, and an epic item. Well, this one just sounds silly, but I'm kind of down. I think it's bad, but I think it's fun. And I think that's the point of it. So that one's actually kind of tempting me, actually. The Equalizer. Play, shrink the strongest enemy to my stats. I think we're all going through the Zoe adventure, and seeing the ability to completely destroy the catastrophe sounds really nice. So that's the first thing that comes to my head. The Watcher and the Lysandra adventure would be funny too, although if it's at the point where it's out, you're probably not happy anyway. But those are fun. I think all these are cool additions, and they're all very unique. I think the Pack-a-Punch is probably the most generic, but they all add kind of something else. All the other ones kind of add really cool concepts to you, letting you do stuff. The Equalizer also seems like it'd be funny on champions that are normally weak, but buff really strong once they're in play. Like Victor. Or who else would get crazy strong once they're in play? Master Yi would also not mind this, but, fighting for relic slots. Let's look at the epic relics, and this is going to be interesting. Renewing Power. Each round, the first time you play a 6+ cost spell, refill mana equal to its cost. Jace and Anivia are going to love this. I bet. I'm not going to be shocked to say this one is... I'm 90% sure this one was made mostly for Jace. As always, the 6+ cost spell catches it. Heimerdinger would like it too. This is great. Lets you get a ton of value out of your expensive spells. So that's going to be great. Jace, Anivia, Heimerdinger, all going to be super happy with this one. Rhythms of Despair. Power. Allies in hand have Nightfall. Grant the weakest enemy 2 Gloom. This one's fun. This could work for Vex. Especially Vex, but also Fiddlesticks wouldn't mind this either. Anybody that can play a lot of cards and wants to just kind of nerf the enemy before you play them. And I'm a broken record this patch. I think Vi would like this even. Just because she plays a crap ton of cards, Like play Poro Cannon, then play 2 Poros, and then for 3 mana you've dealt 4 Gloom to the weakest enemy. That's cool. Whirling Blade. When I'm summoned or attack, deal 1 to all enemies. This is Warwick. Warwick would love this. This is so many free ticks of damage. This is nice. I'm trying to think of who else would even want it as badly. Like, based on the icon, it looks like it was intended for Garen. And that can be the case for Garen, but I'm not quite as sure for him. 1 damage is not a ton. It's more about making sure people are hit. I wonder if this is a skill as well. And if it is a skill, then that means it could get buffed by stuff like Luden's Echo, Big Guns, and those would be even nicer. So we'll see when that happens. Sentinel's Plate. Barrier. When I survive damage, grant me +3/+3 and a random keyword. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Okay. That +3/+3 and a random keyword automatically makes it think anybody that kind of wants regeneration right now would love this, because there's someone that would already take advantage of it. So Soraka is going to love this, because if you run Cruel Experiments and you play Soraka with this, then you're going to immediately give her +3/+3 and a random keyword. And anybody that heals themselves a lot, Tom Kench would love that. Actually, yeah, oh golly, between this and Bloodbrand, Tom Kench has good choices. So these will be nice. I think that one's going to be really fun if you manage to get it. I think it can go on a lot of people. So, and I believe surviving damage includes the barrier hit. So that's basically a +3/+3 random keyword, kind of for free. If you have Challenger, you can make an enemy hit you. Very cool. I like that one. Ranger's Command. +1 power and quick attack. Power, round start. If you have the attack token, grant a random ally Scout. Okay, this is nice. Giving the ability to hit more than once is going to be really useful. The downside is you have to have the attack token, sure. But there are some people that just want to keep attacking and keep attacking and keep attacking. So Nunu would love this. Trendemir would love this. There's even, I would even argue Pyke might like this. This one's fun. And if you get Domination Rally, I think that means you get it every turn. Price of Retribution. +2 power and Deathless. Power when an ally dies, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. So this is the Shadow Isles card. The Shadow Isles Epic Relic. Makes sense. This is going to be... 2 power and Deathless is a really nice combination. It's nice to have Deathless available. Deathless plus Guardian Angel is going to go pretty crazy, because then I think you just create an infinite loop of your character. So this is champion printing, potentially. And then when an ally dies, deal 1 to enemy nexus. Not the most helpful in adventures, but every little tick does help a little. So that's helpful too. Shadow Isles and Spirit Blossom, both going to love this one. Okay. Oh, and that's it. Okay. Battle Passes, for those that don't know, they changed Battle Passes to not include Champion Fragments. Now it will have Champion Fragments. They announced that one. They'll return to coincide with the patch launch, which is tomorrow. Emporium offer for Echoing Spirits no longer available in the Emporium, and Frozen Tomb will be available instead. Honestly, Echoing Spirit is one of like the most generically useful epic relics, so if you didn't get it, I'm sorry. Frozen Tomb is nowhere near close. Only a couple people use Frozen Tomb well, like Talia. I like it on Nasus, but it's not the best option. Legend level cap has been increased to 100. Okay, more rewards. Everybody who's finished all 61 Zoes, I'm sorry. I've finished like 18 to 20 right now, so there's still a decent amount to go. But yeah, wow. I'm curious to see what the rewards are because there's going to be some fun stuff in there. Let's see. Bug fixes. Fix an issue where Wrath of Zon was missing Defiance. That I heard about that. Makes sense. Fix an issue where some deprecated items were appearing in some encounters during the With Friends Like These adventure. This is the Reckoner's Mark, that +2/+2 and I strike the strongest enemy. The -4 but ephemeral, maybe. That might be in there too. Also, that might be one of the ones removed. And then the Thieves' Tools to nab. I kind of missed the nab still, but the other two, yeah, they weren't the best options. Fixed an issue where Elder Dragon's origin wasn't being properly set up during his encounter and With Friends Like These. Okay. So that makes sense. I think when Elder Dragon was playing expensive cards, they weren't getting souls. And because they weren't playing souls, you couldn't play Elder Dragon. So makes sense that they'd buff that. I still think the Elder Dragon node is the easier of the two, even if there's a chance of instant death. So I think that's interesting enough to still continue fighting it. And I don't think that'll make it any more deadly because at that point in the adventure, if you're not stomping by turn 3, then you're not going to be winning against Zoe anyway. Fixed an issue where players are able to attempt to play Spirit Rush with no valid targets. Okay. Fixed an issue where Echoing Spirit Relic was not reducing the cost for Noonan Willem's champion spell. Very nice. That's going to be a nice buff. But all right, that is the entire patch. Let's talk about what's going to be happening with me. Normally I stream every Wednesday. This would have been no exception, except we're having our kiddo's birthday party this weekend. I got to get ready for it. We're cleaning up the house. We're getting everything ready. So I will not be streaming this week. I will be picking back up next week. It is going to be a fun weekend for us, and hopefully I'll hit next Wednesday refreshed and renewed. We'll do our Udyr first impressions next Wednesday. I'll also get an epic relic. We'll see. Hopefully I should have enough Stardust at that point. But yeah, we will do all that then. It looks like there's no new adventure, so we don't have to worry about that. And I guess I have a month to kit my Freljord Nova Crystal. I gotta get that back. So yes, that is all. Thank you everybody, and this has been Tansuke, and I will catch you guys later.